Hello, it's me again. Welcome back. And now we're going to be talking about Section 5.5 Educational Priorities and Issues of the 21st Century. Now, this will, of course, be from the time period of the year 2000 to the present. And in the textbook, this will be on pages 165 to 170 for all those who have been following along. Now, education during the 21st century can be defined as a quest for excellence. Everyone wants the students to succeed. The schools, the teachers, the government, the communities that these schools are in, the students themselves, they just want to succeed. And there's a lot of problems that arise that prevent students from succeeding. But there's also many ways, from actions taken on a state level to like federal government level, of promotion to promote excellence. Now, one of the first and biggest issues that education is facing in the 21st century is an achievement gap. There is a gap in the achievement and success of like students that are like white, black, Hispanic, Native American, like all these groups. They are not succeeding at the same level. They're not having the same level of achievement. So it's up to the teachers and schools to promote the achievement of all their students, no matter what race they are, what their culture is, or even what their social class is. None of that matters. What matters is that these students are succeeding in schools. And that begins to talk of what do we do to promote excellence. Well, there's many different things that have happened. So let's talk about some of them. For starters, West Virginia created a process to designate schools as innovation zones. What this means is that the schools that are approved by their state board of education would have a greater control over the curriculum taught in the school, the personnel hired in the school, the organization of the school day and year, the use of technology, and the delivery of educational services to improve the student learning. Now, of course, that comes with a price, and that price is considering, these schools would have a greater control over how they operate. They would be, of course, held at a higher accountability by the government and the people in the communities in case something goes wrong. They're also West Virginia is also awarding public schools with innovation in education designations. And the schools are like public schools with STEM, community school partnerships, entrepreneurship, career pathways, and the arts. Now, another way that schools have been trying to promote students' excellence and achievement in schools is technology. So the book goes on about Mr. D. Wilt's 12th grade calculus class. Calculus pretty hard, and of course the students need help, and he has no way of figuring out how to help them. So the textbook, it goes on about the textbook he uses has a DVD that allows students to view examples of the solutions. And his first attempt was to locate a free web-based calculus tool. The problem was he spent more time explaining how to use the tool than what actually is going on in the problem. So then he decided to videotape himself. With the 21st century, COVID hit, students going online, teachers making videos. This is pretty big nowadays. But of course, when he made the videos on his computer, the quality was bad, the audio was bad, everything was bad. It wasn't working out for him. So he came into contact with the textbook publisher, and the publisher told him about a website. So now Mr. DeWitt uses the website to make videos that he will share with the students if they need help. So technology can play a really big role in helping students with their path to success in classes. Now, states have also promoted excellence by participating in the Common Core State Standards Initiative, or CCSSI. And this is to bring uniformity to a lot of state standards, because each state is different. They have different standards for education. So this is meant to bring it all together and give it some uniform and give basic general standards. Now, 48 states, excluding Texas and Alaska, participated in developing these K-12 standards. And in 2013, 45 states formally adopted the standards. So must have been somewhat decent. The standards also stressed the fact that they were voluntary and not a federal initiative, to give states a sense that this isn't a government takeover. They're not having this be forced upon them. Now, in 2018, there was a couple of acts, like the reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, or ESEA, and changes to the No Child Left Behind Act, or the NCLB. So, and this was part of the administration at the time's blueprint for reform. And first of all, this blueprint would not single out schools for not making adequate yearly progress, or AYP. And by 2014, all students would leave high school, college, or career ready, of course. So, to promote excellence and innovation at the state level, the blueprint included a competitive $4 billion race to the top program in the Teacher and Leader Innovation Fund. Of course, with all this money, states are going to try to, do their best to really innovate and reform their schools to promote the max amount of success. Now, Congress did not reauthorize the ESEA. And in fact, there was a new act designed and created to fix the No Child Left Behind, and that is the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA for short. So the ESSA increased the authority of states and school districts for educational reform and improvement, and it reduced federal government authority in areas as testing teacher quality in more low-performing schools. It also requires states set high curriculum standards in reading and language arts, math and science, and any other subject identified by the state. So if the state feels like one of the subjects in the curriculum is very important, they will set high standards for it. And because of it, states are not required to submit their standards to the U.S. Department of Education like they had to in the No Child Left Behind. But just like No Child Left Behind, ESSA requires that each state has annual assessments in reading, language arts, and math and science. So, like in Pennsylvania, we have the PSSAs and the Keystones. And there's that are the annual tests that are being taken to see how each grade that takes these tests are doing. And then on the question of this quest for excellence, there's also who's accountable. Who is accountable to promote and who's accountable success and who's accountable for when students don't achieve. And pretty much everyone from the politicians to the businesses to citizens still hold schools, teachers, and administrators accountable for everything that goes on in the schools. So, as a teacher, we, of course, as said before in earlier chapters, the schools and teachers are held to very high accountability. And it got even crazier considering like some of these tests like that are taken the annual test could if the depending on test scores could lead to an increase in funding or like some merit rewards and stuff. So they schools and teachers are being held in high accountability and pushed to promote excellence. And now there's like a reward at the end for that if they do it. And now in 2016 there was a big debate on the role of public schools. Huge debate. And it was and you start seeing like diminishing support for public schools and now we got like and now they're pushing for like charter schools, voucher programs, and all this stuff. But of course, a lot of people view that strong public schools promote democracy, guard against emerging authoritarian trends in society, increase social justice, and ensure educational excellence and equity for all students. So there's a big push against like all this like promotion of charter and voucher schools. So of course, with all that being said, there's still the big question of in quest for excellence. Like, will we have every student succeed? Now, of course, the quest for excellence will be difficult. There'll be a lot of challenges. I mean, achievement gap, funding, like accountability, all this will slow down the progress, but who knows? Maybe sometime in the near future, there won't be as many problems with school and issues in schools. So to recap, talked about some of the problems education has from achievement gap to like and not every student succeeding, and then some of the um, actions taken like innovation zones from for schools in West Virginia and like a lot of the acts like No Child Left Behind, Every Student Succeeds Act. So I hope you had as much fun learning about this as I did, and see you later.